Hello everybody, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening depending on where you are in this amazing world. My name is Donovan Jolly, and welcome everybody once again for another amazing video of DIY investing. For today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some of my favorite charts that in my opinion show the best direction of the market possible. We're going to see a massive amount of new money flooding into the markets, multiple billions and billions of dollars as we rally upwards of 5 to 10 trillion in market cap. You guys already know I'm calling for $250,000 per Bitcoin by the end of the year, along with a $20,000 Ethereum target. And when these two take off in this sort of a way, we're going to see so much money flooding into the rest of the altcoins that we're going to experience the biggest alt run ever. I'm going to share with you guys my favorite charts on how to break down, when this is going to happen, how to capitalize on it to the maximum, and then talking about how to get out of the market in the proper time frames. We're going to also finish up by giving you guys one free altcoin. This is one of my favorite altcoins going into the next couple months that I know is going to have the potential to make us all a lot of profit. If you're new and just finding this channel, always remember to do me a favor by leaving a like, comment, and subscribing to this channel for more updates. Always remember to click that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos like the one provided for you here. And make sure you guys sign up and join the Discord server of over 21,000 members and growing. Links are going to be provided for you in the description for the people that want to sign up. On top of that, if you're new, just getting into these markets and you want extra educational content on how to be more profitable inside these markets, links are going to be provided for you in the description to go ahead and download my free ebook and Beginner's Guide to Crypto. So check it out. Links are provided for you in the description. And with all that being said, guys, let's jump right into this amazing video today. So to start off this video, what I really wanted to cover right off the bat is going to be the bigger picture with Bitcoin. Not so much the time frames, but just analyzing a couple basic indicators that I use when it comes to just spotting trend reversals, where we're at in trends, and just getting an idea of where we're at mainly. The cool thing about this trend specifically that we're seeing ever since 3.2 thousand basically per Bitcoin, what we've been seeing, in my opinion, is the most clean market cycle thus far. Even though we had the March 2020 collapse, where the whole market crashed and we had this massive sell-off, I still think that this chart itself follows the best Elliott wave structure that we've ever seen inside of a market. And this is for Bitcoin. Bitcoin follows great Elliott waves, but the most recent cycle that we're in actually follows the best one. And this is a strategy that is basic. If you study for a few months or something, read some books, you mainly just look on the internet for the most part and just analyze markets that you see and try and look at the Elliott waves. If you guys spend some time understanding Elliott waves and how to draw them, they're really easy to see on bigger pictures, which is where I predominantly use them. And it's just a way to map out the bigger picture cycle. They're not going to be some perfect blueprint, but there will be times where you are able to spot clean Elliott waves, and that's going to understand how to get in and out of the market, if it's undervalued, if it's overvalued, right? Now, the thing with Bitcoin is we followed such clear and precise Elliott wave structure the entire way up. And what's cool to me is how where we're at in the cycle, guys, we only have one more Elliott wave to go, and we've actually already started it. Ever since we bottomed at 29,000, we rallied back up to 53,000, and then we had that little pullback back to 39,000. That was our first higher high in the new 5 wave. Every impulse, you have 3 impulse waves. So we have wave 1 that was down here. We had wave 3 that was right there, and then we got wave 5. So that's our 3 impulse waves inside of wave 1. We saw the same exact thing play out once more inside of wave 3. And I'm not exactly sure where you would call this wave, probably right here. Wave 1, wave 3, and then that took us up here to wave 5. So we can see once again we got our 5 impulse waves the entire way up after that March sell-off. And so now, guys, we still have to complete 5 impulse waves inside of this final 5 wave. Thus far, we've had wave 1. We need, and we're actually working on currently, wave 3. In my opinion, this is where we're going to see this Bitcoin cycle get very extended, probably 100K plus per Bitcoin. We'll get a little sell-off, and then we'll take us to our final 5 wave, which ultimately I believe is going to be taking us upwards of 250,000 per Bitcoin. So something like this, right? This is my personal thought on what's going to be playing out for this Bitcoin cycle. We're going to get a huge move to end the year, and this is ultimately lining up perfectly with our Elliott waves. And this is why I say to do a little time paying attention to Elliott waves, understand how to spot them, because this is one of those prime opportunities where you didn't necessarily need to know a lot about trading or crypto. If you understood Elliott waves, you could come out here on a weekly time frame, and you would know wave 3 is way bigger than wave 1 because we can measure it through the Fibonacci. We can look here. We can see that wave 3 went above all of our Fibonacci targets. And so we know right off the bat that this is a clear Elliott wave structure. We have wave 1. We can see that this is what started the trend. Wave 3 broke out, made a new all-time high, just as what we saw in 2013. And it's so interesting how close this is to 2013 because we saw almost the exact same sort of structure. The only difference is we get this little impulse right here after wave 1. Whereas we kind of get the similar thing inside of this most recent wave 3 impulse, but the structure just looked way different. Wave 1 back in the day here looks different than wave 1 currently. The big thing that is similar is actually this wave 3 structure. And it's interesting to me how we get the same sort of wave 3 structure mimics almost identically to what we see today, and this is also showing that we're going to have the same end of the year blow off top. So these are two different indicators that I think are really important to understand. They're not super hard to pick up on. If you guys follow a couple people that basically show Elliott waves on the charts, trade Elliott waves, it's not super hard to actually get an idea of how to actually draw them. It just takes a little bit of time. Some of you guys don't want to learn TA, that's why you watch me, but nonetheless, I think it is a good thing to actually learn long term. Now guys, if we come back here and actually look at that 2013 cycle, I wanted to go back through here and talk about just similarities that we see. Now, the big similarity that we see is after this correction that we saw midway in the cycle, we get this cycle low that takes place in about July. We get our first little higher high here and consolidate. And then at the beginning of quarter 4, right there, we get this sell-off. It's just a bear trap. Bears faked everybody out, stole some liquidity, and then they took it into new all-time highs. And so right here is the beginning of quarter 4. This is quarter 4. And this is what happened right after quarter 4 to the final end of the year blow off top. I believe that we're going to see similar price action where we get a big break, we make wave 1, and then wave 3 looks something like this, where it just goes super, super extended. When we do top, we still get a massive correction. Like this is a big dip right here. It just gets immediately bought up, and that's what takes us to the final rally. We're going to see dips like this in preparation for this coming rally. You need to understand that during this period of time, it's going to get crazy. You're going to see a massive account valuation swings. You're going to see a ton of crazy stuff going on in the markets. And being prepared for that beforehand is the only way to ultimately have a grasp on reality when it does occur in your present now, right? That's the thing that's going to be playing out. And we need to be prepared for it. And thus far, we've seen almost the same sort of, price action. We see the same consolidation. We see a bottom here, a low in July. And then we actually get our first higher high. Make that first little pullback that we see. And then we actually did this all before quarter 4. So technically this cycle is a little bit ahead of the last one in 2013. But we can see quarter 4, pretty much begins right at this breakout. So instead of getting a quarter 4 dump, we actually got the opposite. We got a breakout of our sell-off. And so it's still following roughly those same time frames. And that's why I do believe that just like the 2013 cycle, we will see the same sort of blow-off top that finishes out in this cycle. It's just basic, analyzation of looking at prior trends. We can compare the time frames and know that they're the same. We can look at the big picture Elliott waves and understand that we still have one more final blow-off top to close out this run. And, there's just a number of technical aspects that line up. Now, one of the other things that I want to talk to you guys about is actually Ethereum and why I believe we're about to see the biggest alt season of any cycle. This will be the big one. Maybe next cycle, I can't predict in the future, but thus far this will be the biggest one we've ever seen. Now, I love this chart so much because we had so much accumulation. We show a classic market cycle. I talked about it endlessly on my old YouTube videos from way back in the day. And then immediately, just as I thought we would, once we flipped this resistance, we just got a massive move into new all-time highs. We've now sold off, retested the previous all-time highs as support, and we've had an immediate buyback in the short term. On that buyback, we formed one of the most bullish chart patterns that ever exist in the cup and handle. We've broken from the resistance of the handle, and we've now broken from the top of the resistance and made a new all-time high. This is a confirmed cup and handle breakout. This is why I believe we're going to see the biggest alt season that we've ever seen before. The entire market's going to explode in such a major way, and I'm super excited because this is ultimately where a lot of you guys that haven't been around for something like this are going to make a lot of profit. Or the people that have been around since 2017, they're going to finally remember and get some nostalgia of what 2017 was actually like when they first got in the market. market. The only difference is this time they're actually going to be making a profit and they're not going to be losing it in the bear market, right? Because we all made those mistakes. Everybody makes those mistakes at least once, which is why I make these videos to help inform the new people getting on board how to not do those things, because it sucks losing all of your money. And I want to see you guys make a lot of money over the end of this year so that you guys can take that profit, diversify it into stocks, diversify into other markets, prepare for the coming, next bull cycle that we'll see with crypto, and ultimately just go about doing it in that way. If we can compound our gains long term, we're going to set ourselves up, for life-changing wealth. We have a rare opportunity with crypto, but keeping that money is a completely different game. It's just as hard as making the money, and it really takes a lot of practice to be able to figure out what the heck to do properly. And at the end of the day, you really don't know exactly what to do. You're kind of just going out on your own analysis and your own knowledge on the matter. But the cool thing is, guys, we do know that we're about to see this massive blow off top. We see so many different charts flipping all-time highs. Bitcoin was the first. Now Ethereum's doing it. We can see a number of other charts, such as the total market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is the chart. This is the index. It's based off the market cap of every crypto that isn't Bitcoin and Ethereum. And we can see that this one is just right behind those. This one looks super, super good. I actually like this chart itself more than the other ones just because of how bullish it actually is. We rallied up and made a new all-time high. We had this small little handle inside the cup. We didn't correct as hard as Ethereum, and we went higher than Ethereum. And now that we're actually about to be breaking out, we can see these stitching formations. See where the market's just going like this, back and forth, slowly uptrending. That's what's known as stitching. And you're going to see this in a market before it breaks bullish and has a big, appreciation in price. And we can see that this is the stuff playing out, guys. And what's interesting to me is if we apply the same Fibonacci relationships that we have been thus far, and let's say that we get an extension upwards of the 3 to the 4236, we're going to be looking at like 3.8 to 4.44 trillion dollars in market cap in all of the cryptos excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if we're looking at an even 4 trillion in market cap in all of the other cryptos, you guys already know that I've been targeting a 2.5 trillion market cap for Ethereum. That's going to take us to 6.5 trillion in market cap, and then I'm also targeting 5 trillion in market cap for Bitcoin. So total market cap, we're actually going to be looking at about 11.5 trillion, and I would say anywhere from 10 to 12 trillion, which is what I've already talked about. If we get that type of an extension inside the markets, we're going to see, so much money flooding into the market, 10 to 12 trillion in market cap. That's my personal all-time, valuation of the crypto markets by the end of the year cycle top. So in that time, we're going to see a lot of these things go up tremendously. I mean, think about it, guys. We've seen how tremendously some of these have gone up, and this is this chart being under a trillion in market cap. This was us going from 31 billion to a trillion. A big move, right? Massive move. But this next move is going to be the one that takes us, from 1 trillion to 4 trillion, right? We're going to see a huge move. There's going to be so much money flooding into the markets. A lot of that is going to group up with the coins that have already been outperforming. I know that. But there's going to be so many other new opportunities that blow up in this period of time because the most amount of money in the fastest period of time happens in the next, couple months. And so this is why I believe that the charts are perfectly sharing with us the fact that we're going to get a massive move coming into the altcoins. And so if we understand this, we can go ahead and pick different altcoins. And that's why I wanted to finish up today's video by actually giving you guys one of my favorite altcoins that I think is going to do phenomenally well to close out the end of the year. And that one is actually going to be Genesis Shards. Now, Genesis Shards is one that's a very low market cap. And so just for that, understand that there's going to be a lot more risk with it. But I just see such a perfect accumulation pattern that I think it's going to break out. I think we have an opportunity of making some good profits. So I have actually accumulated. I originally started accumulating pretty close to where we're at. You guys are basically getting the same entry I did. I bought it over here. And I was actually thinking about adding some more to my position. Just one more final, buy order here as I expect it to be breaking out soon. Now, I love this chart. We can see a massive amount of accumulation that's been taking place here. Exactly what you want to see. The longer the accumulation, the greater the expansion. I always say that. And this just looks like perfect accumulation. We've had one impulse. We corrected all the way back down, pretty much fully retraced the move. And this is, massively under the all-time highs. I mean, from where we're at today To the previous high, you're looking at like 122%. To the next resistance, you're looking at like 270%. And I think that this one could very easily, you know, come all the way up and even retest these previous all-time highs. Maybe even make new all-time highs. It's hard to say. With these low caps, they don't take a lot of money to come into it for them to actually break these all-time highs. And I do believe that we will see them do that. At least to the very minimum, I would expect them to come and retest those highs. Maybe they don't have to completely break them depending on how well they perform. But this is one that getting in early, it doesn't matter because like I said, guys, we're pretty much getting in at the ground floor. When these take off, they pump quick. You can sell, you know, over your initial entry price and just have a moon bag that you let ride. And then if it goes up way higher, you're still making money. You still have all that profit that you made that you can take and move into something else. And so you're just compounding gains and winning the whole way through. But this is one that I just think is phenomenal. I wanted to give you guys just at least one altcoin that I thought was pretty solid. This is one of those, you know, undervalued low cap cryptos. And if we actually come over here, if you don't know what it's called Genesis Shards. Right there. So I don't think this is going to show the market cap, but I know it's a really low market cap. I think it was like 5 million or something close to that. Could be even less than that. I don't really know exactly. But you guys are going to be able to find the Genesis Shards over here. I believe they're on the market, available to trade is... So you can actually get it on PancakeSwap, I guess. It doesn't have any information on what the spread is or how much liquidity there is, but you can definitely get it on Uniswap. There really isn't a ton of liquidity. I'm sure that this is a really low cap crypto, but I know that you guys can get this from over there. I think that this is a solid pickup. You know, if you guys want to go check that out, that's how you go do that. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching this video. If you found value in this, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any of these amazing videos. If you guys like what you see and you guys want to join the Discord server or download my free ebook, links are going to be provided for you in the description for that. On top of that, if you guys want to join the Discord server, the video course, the signals, you guys want to follow those trades that I take at the end of the year and even just over the next couple months, you want to see more trades like the one I just shared with you guys. I have so many different profitable signals in there. If you guys also want to get into my NFT project early, all of the fun stuff that I do inside the markets, it's all going to be taught inside of that VIP. If you guys want to know what I'm doing, and then even outside of crypto, how I'm diversifying my portfolio and my profits at the end of the year, all of that gets taught in there. So links are going to be provided for you in the description for the people that do want to sign up for that. Thank you all so much for watching. And with that being said, I'll catch you in the next one. As always, peace out.